Another big technological advancement of Formula One was that a turbo-powered engine, so an engine that sucked in way more air into the pistons, gave way more power. And the first team to do this was Brabham, which was actually owned by Bernie Ecclestone, and who later went on to just be the owner, basically, of Formula One. And in 1981, they had won the world championship with Brazilian driver Nelson Piquet in his turbo car. Now this began the turbo era of Formula One, where every team was getting into these turbo engines. So now that McLaren had their carbon fiber car, now they needed an engine to go along with it, a strong engine, a turbo engine. So Ron Dennis, he again needed to find a way to make this new turbo engine. So he worked with a guy called Mansour Oj, who owned a company through his father as well called TAG, right? Or Techniques de Avant-Garde. So anyway, through TAG and this Mansour Oj guy, they went to Porsche, and under that umbrella, or with that sponsorship, that financing, they produced a turbo engine. Now that they had created the car and they had created this superior engine, they were really getting close to having a really amazing team. So now we're getting into 1983. They needed good drivers now to drive these cars. And so they had kind of been sick of John Watson. They felt that his lackluster results. They also had Andre DeCedris, blah, blah, blah. They needed new people. So initially what they did was, in 1983, they brought in former world champion Niki Lauda. And now Niki Lauda was older. He had actually even retired, I believe, from Formula One. And they brought him back in. He was 35 years old. He had survived a horrific crash in the 1976 Formula One, World Championship season, where he had burned his face all up and everything like that. And they brought him back in because they knew that he had the ability, the experience, all of that to be able to drive the car, was a reliable driver, and could give them good, feedback, technical feedback, how to improve the car and all that type of stuff. He was obviously, beyond being a good racer, he was extremely smart and had a kind of a mechanical mind and that kind of understood engineering, all that.
After running here in Weissach for 2 days is that the engine is certainly very powerful, reliable. We did, I think, 550 kilometers on it without any big problems. We have to work on the throttle response, which is normal that we have to do that, and on the fuel consumption.
Lauda took the 1983 season to kind of work with the team and build it up. And in fact, they didn't even use the infamous MP42 until the very end of the season. I think that the last two races, something like that, where they finally actually raced with it. Before, they were just testing and using the old car. Now they use 1983 to really develop and get everything together. Now comes along to 1984 season. So now their second driver was the up-and-coming Alain Prost, who the previous season had lost the championship by only 1 point. And they felt that Alain Prost was the guy, so they brought him in. So now they had two drivers, Lauda and Prost. They had the carbon fiber monocoque and the car, and in my opinion, this car was so beautiful, so sexy. It has this kind of beast look about it, big, powerful, with the big, powerful turbo engine. At the same time, it looks sleek, well-designed, this very flashy, nice red and white Marlboro livery. I mean, just really unbelievable car. Now they have like I said, they have the two drivers, they have the car, they have everything. 1984 season comes around, they absolutely dominate.
Magnificent McLaren, the most successful team ever in the history of World Championship motor racing.